Welcome to Sapient friends. In this video, I have a small little collection of puzzle for you. I hope all you can enjoy this. So without any delay, we go straight into the video. In this first puzzle, white has a queen but not in its usual active square, whereas black has a cunning and hiding method. White needs to be aware of that, otherwise match will be gone. Just simple move. So without any delay, we move king h6. So after this, it's an obvious move. After this, bishop e5 for black is a good move. So after this, if you want to save your queen, if you didn't know about the cunning method, if you do so by moving your queen, that's a blunder. After this, simple rook h8 is a mate. Okay. Well, this is the hiding and cunning method that I have been talking since the starting of the video. So I hope all you understand this, and let's see what the good move is. We found that moving the queen from f6 will lead us to danger, so we can't afford to do that. Instead, we play king g7, which is a phenomenal move. Let's see how it is. After that, black still cut the queen, but that's a blunder move for them. Let's see how it is. After cutting the queen, we cut the pawn with f6. So after this, there you can see no valid moves, no good moves for black. Rook cannot be moved, so as pawns. If any one of the pieces move, they will be cut by our pieces. So they will either lose pawns or rook, which will cause them to lose the match. We saw what will happen if black cuts our queen, so they won't do that. Instead, they played bishop h2. So after that, it's an important move that we are playing, which is c4. Is a good move. The reason I would say this is a good move, you will be fine later. So after this, they cut our pawn with b pawn. So after this, we think we cut our c pawn, but that's not the matter. We play e5, which is a great move. Let's see how it is. Now black has to accept that pawn. So after accepting, we now play b into c4. After this, black can't cut our queen and they can't move their pawn. So it's a critical position for black. Let's see the good move is. They know what will happen if they cut our queen. So they won't do that. Instead they played bishop h2. So after this move, we play c4. That's why I said e5 is a good move instead of cutting the pawn on c4. They will play d into c5. So after this, the tension is over for white. The reason is our queen will be released and the bishop e5 can't continue because there is no support for bishop e5. So that's it. The tension is over. Next, it's a easy win for white. In the next puzzle, black has a little advantage, I would say, but white turned it around for them. Let's see how it is. White played queen f8. It's a good move. King has to come to d7, which is the legal square. Now queen plays f5. It's a tactical move. After king goes to d8, it's a brave sacrifice move. Queen played rook into c8. Black has to accept it. And after this, it's a very clinical move, which is c6. So after this, there is only one possible move for black, which is the e-pawn movement. So after they played e6, we played e4, e3 rather, e5, e4. That's it, game over. Because after this, they don't have any good move. They have only two valid moves, which is the movement of king or the movement of rook. So either one of those moves will cause them lose the match. So this is the sacrifice of the puzzle. Okay. We came to the next puzzle. In this puzzle, white doesn't have any advantage. They created an advantage. Let's see what it is. Bishop e5, it's a good move. Black has to accept it. Now rook e5, that's a good move. After playing king f8, phenomenal sacrifice move, which is rook e8. So black has to accept it. They did. After that, we played g7. That's a good move. After playing g7, rook has to come down to g8 for stopping them to become a queen. So after this, we played f6. After this, there you can see only one move possible, which is cutting down the pawn by rook. It's almost a suicide. Okay. In this puzzle, White has some advantage, but let's see will they capitalize it or black overcomes it. They played f7, which is the good move. So they played as the usual move, which is g7. They played knight f5. So we know that cutting down the pawn is not good, because after cutting down knight d6 is a pork. That's a game over, buddy. So without cutting down the pawn, they go f8. So after this, we play a crucial move, which is b4. So after this, there is no good movement for black, for rook especially. So they has to accept that pawn which is on the f7. After that, it's a simple as usual pork. That's it. In this puzzle, I would say black has some advantage. So let's see how white overcomes it. Now white plays f6, which is a, how to say, it's a greedy move. So after, if they cut our pawn, that's in danger. After knight f6, that's a pork. Cutting the pawn on f6 is not a good move for black, so they played rook g8. Now we played pawn into g7. They cut rook into g7. A great move played by white is knight f6. So this is a phenomenal move. The reason is we found later. So king goes to c4, c5. They cut our pawn no matter. We play king d5. That's a good move. Let's see why it is. Because hereafter black's king can't go to their rook, playing small moves like b4, a4, something like that. We go to d6 and black's king goes to anywhere no matter what. So we go to e7 and finally f8. Well, we came to the end of the video, and this is my favorite puzzle of the video. So comment me your favorite puzzle, and if I impressed you, please like me and share and subscribe. So it's time to say tata bye bye. Thank you for watching.